I would say again that you have been doing some fantastic work, and we have had many meetings on national guidelines for responsible business conduct, which was signed off by the current Prime Minister 5-6 years back, I think, right? What do you say about these guidelines? And in that context, the responsibility of auto sector brands in the supply chain?
Right. Thank you, Sandeep ji. Let me, first of all, let me congratulate you for the wonderful work. So today I've actually heard the entire, the presentation and summary, and my, really congratulations to you. All right. Now let me talk about this specific question that you have posed to me. But considering that India is the fourth largest automotive market in the world, with a penetration of 33 automobiles per 1,000 people. So therefore, the responsible business conduct in the automotive industry calls for a greater sustainability in its operations as well as product. So with this particular background, the relevance of national guidelines for responsible business conduct, and let me also acknowledge that one of the author is already with us, Viraf. The relevance of NGRBC lies in its potential for creating a framework for companies to operate in a socially responsible manner, and certainly environmentally also, but I'm sticking myself today for today's discussion in terms of specifically the social aspect. Now, by adhering to these guidelines, companies can and they are actually enhancing their sustainability efforts. They are improving stakeholder relations. They are contributing positively to the community and the environment in which they operate. And this is, further complement even their own long sustenance in the longer run. As we always highlight that by doing this, all this, the most benefit comes back to the company itself. Now, indeed, one of the key ways in the NGRBC conduct has impacted companies has been done through influencing their reporting, and the SEBI's BRSR, which is a business responsibility and sustainability report, is based on the NGRBC, which we always call it as a mother document. And that, has evolved the entire regulatory mandate for the 1,000 listed companies, from purely financial to even account for such social parameters also. Now, the entire spirit is reflected in the section B of BRSR that specifically mentions that, business to demonstrate the structure, the policy, and the process, all three, whether it's all in place towards adopting these guidelines and its core element. Further, as we can see that if we talk about the cascading of NGRBC down the supply chain as we are talking today, so cascading the NGRBC down the supply chain basically involves extending these principles and expectations of responsible business conduct beyond the primary company to its suppliers, to its partners. And therefore, let me also highlight that, besides principle 3 being an entire principle catering to the supply chain sustainability, 5 core elements of NGRBC mention the value chain. That reflects the importance of value chain sustainability. And there are various possible ways in which NGRBC can cascade down the supply chain. And I will just mention few, the first being, the supplier engagement. It's very important, to communicate these guidelines to suppliers and encourage them to align with the responsible business practice. Second is supplier assessment. That's again an important perspective. What are the process and policies to assess the supplier's performance and practices to ensure that they are meeting the responsible business standards? And, this might involve evaluating the labor practices, adherence to ethical standards, etc. The third could be a collaborative improvement. So which means that, we need to even accept the hard fact that if the suppliers do not meet the desired standards, the company which has adopted NGRBC principles, they may collaborate with them, develop the improvement plans together, provide support in implementing. As you rightly highlighted, the core problem is implementation. Then the fourth and fifth I'll mention is the transparency and reporting, which is nothing but, again, the entire NGRBC takes us to the reporting aspect also. So companies can even require the suppliers to report on their progress, that how much they are able to adhere to these responsible business practices and ensuring the transparency and accountability throughout the supply chain. And last but not the least is incentivize and recognition. That's again an important point, which, recognizing and rewarding such suppliers that demonstrate the exemplary, such kind of a responsible conduct, which is in line with the NGRBC principles, can certainly motivate, others to follow the same. So by cascading the entire NGRBC down the supply chain, I believe the goal is to create a comprehensive and a far-reaching impact on sustainable and responsible business practices beyond the immediate operations of the company that adopts the guidelines. And I think with this, I'll stop for now.
Thank you, Garima ji. I've made a lot of notes, but I picked up on a few keywords, I think, which are important. The size of auto sector and its importance in India, both for manufacturing and the improvement in manufacturing and sustainability. Collaborative improvement, absolutely. I think the industry, the government, the social sector, you need to come together, the suppliers, to make it happen. And it's really heartening to hear that you're talking about a comprehensive long-term plan. And I know IIC has a big role to play. So thank you for that and for your leadership in that.